Yeah, it was certainly a very hard-fought game against Kent. I was proud of the way our kids prepared, how hard they played, and disappointed in the outcome. And had an opportunity for the fifth game in a row to finish it off in the fourth quarter, and weren't able to get it done. And now we've got to deal with the result of that game for 364 days. So excited to be back in a rivalry. I thought the kids, as I mentioned, fought hard. And, I got to move forward now to get ready for a very well-coached and talented Miami team.
Go ahead, George.
After we spoke after the game the other day, that game made it a rivalry again. Would you agree, given the outcome of the past three seasons?
Yeah, I mean, not necessarily specific to this game, but I think any rivalry in general, for it to be a rivalry, it's got to be competitive. And, I think now, hopefully we've earned a little bit of respect from Kent. I think they saw that, our kids were well prepared, that they were going to play hard, and we're executing at a fairly high level for most parts of the game. And, honestly, a good rivalry should be competitive. So, once again, not at all happy with the outcome, and we won't be until we're able to bring that wheel back home to Akron. But, definitely, excited to be back in one of college football's, best rivalries.
What's the status of your running back situation? Against Kent, we saw Cam Wiley. We hadn't seen him for a minute. And I saw that Clyde had 12 carries. Cam had 9. Are you looking to go more 50-50 there in the future, or will the situation dictate that?
Yeah, I mean, Terry and I have worked together. Coach Richardson and I have worked together at a bunch of different places. We had 2,000-yard rushers at UConn with Jordan Taubman and Andre Dixon, and also bounced, Kylan Hill and Aries Williams at Mississippi State. And, Terry, who has a hot hand, who's better at specific plays, that's all things that Terry factors in. And really, we had a bunch more run calls that kind of showed up on the stat sheet. All those plays that DJ was shoveling to Clyde and Cam were all run calls. It just happened to be a shovel draw. So, certainly I thought we took a little step forward with our run game, and when you include the quarterback runs in there, I thought that was a positive. But, to answer your question, we'd like to get those guys, as many reps as possible, split down the middle. But, the hot hand and the specific play will dictate who's in there on a given play.
Why did the run game get going a little bit? Was it primarily due to DJ and them having to account for him, or was the offensive line getting more push, do you think?
A little of both. And, we talked earlier in the week, George, about, Kent State playing a little bit of a unique front, the odd with the zero nose, the 5 techniques, the 2 backers, and then the safety sitting behind those guys at 8 yards. So I think we did a fairly decent job from a scheme standpoint, doing our best to soften it up and, find ways to get a blocker on that safety. So I think it was probably our linemen doing a little bit better job getting some push, and then, also finding a way to account for that unblocked safety.
Do you like your quarterback showing chippiness on the field to the point of drawing a penalty?
Yeah, everything outside of the penalty I love. DJ's an incredibly intense competitor, and it shows in his preparation and his performance. And, we've talked about before, there's no such thing, there are part-time quarterbacks, and usually they stink. But this is a guy that's in the building, on his own, watching film, and winning's important to him. And, I'd like, obviously, for him to avoid the penalties, and we can't have that, and it won't be acceptable. But, you want a quarterback that can, play with emotion, show his emotions without being emotional, and I think DJ, for the most part, is able to do that.
Did you say anything to him after that? Because we both know what happens if he gets another one.
Yeah, I did. I said, hey, just so you're aware, one more unsportsmanlike conduct, and you'll be, holding a clipboard next to me watching the rest of the game. And I understand, Coach. And there was some, there's stuff that goes on at the bottom of the pile that people don't see, and I'm not saying his actions were, tolerated or acceptable, but, at a certain point, I think the linemen were trying to stand up for him. He was trying to get up, and, it was offsetting personal fouls, spot the PAT and let's play ball.
You said more than once that your wide receivers are the strength of your team. Alex Adams seems to be slowly, gradually upping his game week by week. Talk about the show he put on this past weekend.
Yeah, I think
number
it was,
one, and
yeah, I think it was
number two, is he always so quiet?
Alex.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alex is a speak when spoken to guy. I mean, he's an unbelievable kid, great personality, and very engaging. But he's not going to be the guy that starts the conversation, but by any means. But yeah, I mean, Alex and I have had a relationship dating back to when he was committed to me down there, and flipped to LSU in that 2019 offense, which he didn't like but understood it. And it seems like every week it's a different receiver that's stepping up with the big game while the other guy's still finding a way to contribute. But, Alex has got a ton of talent. He's got multiple years of eligibility. And just like everyone else in the program in all three phases, we're continuing to find ways to get better and better every week and, continue building for the rest of the season and, most certainly for the future.
We've talked about this too. Despite your record, there's talent in this team. It has yet to coalesce. But in that regard, are you worried at this point of the season that people are noticing your talented players and they can hit the portal, or no?
I guess it's a double-edged sword. You don't want them recognizing them, and well, first off, they have to go in the portal before anyone contacts them. So that would be the first thing. But I guess you would rather be on that side of the ledger where your guys are capable of playing not just football but winning football at a high level that you're bringing in, and other people would want them. So, and I think hopefully they understand that part of the equation for their success was the decision to come in and play for us and our systems, and hopefully they see how they benefited from that, and maybe a move to somewhere else back up to a higher level. But that's all things I'd prefer not to discuss unless it becomes a reality.
The one thing that hurts you defensively, going back looking at the box score against Kent, third down conversions, which seems to be a constant throughout the season. Have you been able to put your thumb on what the problem is there?
Yeah, I think it depends on the down and distance. I think that the two areas on defense that we earmarked as, the biggest to improve coming out of the Kent game were the lack of pass rush, sacks, turnovers, and pass breakups. But we gave up, 200 plus yards rushing at 6.2 yards an attempt. So that's the biggest issue that we're working to correct. But then there was the 3rd and 11 where we gave up the post ball for 41, and then the 3rd and 7 from the 10, right before the half where we gave up the slant route. So got to find a way to get off the field on 3rd down and not extend drives, and give an explosive offense like Kent, another new fresh set of downs. But yes, that's something that we work on, every single day in practice, and obviously got to find a better way to do it.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, George.
Saturday.
You too. Have a great one.
Your offensive line was kind of a mishmash there for a couple of weeks. It seems like it's starting to come together. They had a great push to get Irons into the end zone on the 5 yards. Is that a group that's starting to solidify a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, Nate's been a constant at right tackle. Anthony Wiggin has been playing, the best out of anyone up front. He had another very solid game. George and Kilbane have been rotating at center. Baines, probably played his best game. Robards is rolling through there, and then kind of left tackle's been the one with the most transition, I guess. Xavier Gray, Jordan Daniels, Kamari, Ronan Chambers has played a bunch of snaps. So, yep, I know it's heading into, week 8, but still looking to find that right combination.
You still like those young offensive linemen, though, they're sitting this year a little bit?
Yeah, Landers, Hale Frater, Tyler Williams, and Keelan Davis are all going to be really, really good football players here. And that's, you look at our portal guys, you look at our true freshmen, you look at our new JUCO players. Once again, we've talked about not just recruiting players that can accept a scholarship and be existent here, but guys can play a high level of productive winning football. And, we got to continue to, get guys on our roster that can play football at that level.
Yeah.
Do you expect any changes among your kickers for this week as compared to last?
Paxos and Getman will continue to work on kickoffs. I think, Getman did a good job outside of some of those ones that were, into the wind, and both teams were trying squib kicks there. But, Smeagol and Perez, Perez missed 2 in the Central Michigan game, so we opened that thing back up. We're kind of close during the course of the week in terms of accuracy, and we felt with the win, Corey had a stronger pregame and kicked the ball better, so we gave him another opportunity. Once again, meritocracy. The best players are going to play. There's no senior, junior, freshman, walk-on scholarship from Ohio, from California. None of that matters. The people who play the best are going to have the opportunities in the games.
Coach, we thank you for this week. We look forward to Saturday's game at noon against Miami at InfoCision Stadium. Thank you.
Thank you. Excited to see all the Zips fans. We're happy about how everyone came out to Kent and supported us. I think it's been great throughout the course of the season to see people in InfoCision Stadium, and hopefully everyone's excited about our progress and the rest of the season and building to the future. So we hope everyone can make it out and help support the team on Saturday. Awesome. Thanks, guys.